Hi, I am Scott W. Kirkland, also known as the Wellness Whip. Yeah, host of the Health Stuff You Need to Know podcast. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I am 43 and I am a husband and a father to a beautiful baby girl who brings such joy to my life. I'm very big on health and fitness and have been since I was just a boy. I grew up in a broken home. My parents divorced when I was 5 years old. My dad left, leaving me, my mom, and two sisters while the bank was foreclosing on our modest family home. I didn't have a good dad. He was absent and didn't offer any financial support. He left my mom to raise and support three young children. I remember sitting in my father's car. He had me take out the registration papers from the glove box. He had the car registered through a lawyer to a shell company so my mother wouldn't be able to place a lien on his car to pay for back child support. I remember him being very proud of this fact and he was showing off. And to me, I thought that he was keeping money from me and my sisters. Like the money wasn't going to give my mom a lavish lifestyle. So that's the kind of guy my dad is. When he was around, he had a negative influence. He would tell these grandiose stories like that we were going to move to Africa and own a coffee plantation. We would have servants and elephants and rhinos in the backyard. Absolute fantasy. But as a child hearing this, I wanted to believe my dad. So I did, until it became brutally obvious that the things he said never came true. Now, he wasn't an evil man. He never beat us or abused us per se, but he did abandon us and mess with our minds a bit. I'm very grateful that I had a wonderful mother. She made so many sacrifices to raise us and give us everything that we needed. I'm also very grateful to my grandparents on my mother's side who were always there for us and prevented us from becoming homeless. I grew up poor. I remember being on welfare and receiving Christmas hampers from the local charity. I remember going to a charity dinner for underprivileged families and having a hamburger that I thought tasted particularly good. It's funny how little acts of kindness can have such a lasting impact. It meant a lot to me. I dealt with the stress of my childhood by using exercise. Even at a young age, I would go for 5-mile jogs and long bike rides, sometimes as long as 40 kilometers. So really, my whole life, I've been into exercising and eating well. I studied environmental science and public safety communications in college and graduated with honors in both programs. I won scholarships and was a straight A student. I'm very interested in environmental sustainability. I love our little blue planet. I think it is a beautiful and precious place, and I'm very distressed by the destruction that humanity is doing to it. I will be promoting sustainable lifestyle changes through the podcast. I find that usually what's good for people is also good for the planet because we're not separate from the earth. We are of it. So I went to college to go out and get what I thought was my dream job. I landed a job as an environmental monitoring officer, essentially a green cop. I was going to help save the world by busting polluters. That's not what happened though. I ended up being a source of red tape for small businesses. I wasn't protecting the environment. I was creating extra work and hassle for some local small companies. I have a lot of respect for small business because I know that they are the backbone of communities. I hated what I was doing. I had to quit. I walked away from a safe, secure, well-paying government job with benefits. I recently moved to a small town where real estate prices are a lot better than in the city. I live on beautiful Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. My town is right by the ocean and is a fantastic natural playground. I'm a very outdoorsy guy, and I love to kayak, swim, and bike, hike, and camp, all that kind of stuff. The main drawback is there's not a lot of good job opportunities. I took a job in retail sales. I was looking for work, and they were hiring. It's that simple. I really enjoy it. It's a fun atmosphere to work in, as I really like interacting with people, and the manager's a great guy, so that makes a big difference. It pays the bills, but it's not really fulfilling. Which brings me to one of the reasons why I've decided to do the podcast. I want to feel the fulfillment that comes with impacting people's lives in a positive way and helping to make the world a more sustainable place. The vast majority of podcasts are hobbyist ones. Podcasters who deliver a lot of value to their audience can grow quite large and can be monetized. Some podcasters do very well financially. I plan to take my podcast to that level, but it takes time. I'm currently studying to be a health coach and will be offering my services in the near future. Now, I'd like to tell you a bit about my personality based on what different people have told me over the years and what I know to be true in my heart. I've been told that I have a good energy, that I'm funny, I'm smart, I'm a good listener. I've been told that I'm heartfelt and genuine, which is particularly important to me. I am reliable and supportive. I am compassionate and grounded, have an open mind, and I've been told that I think too much for my own good. I do tend to be the type of person who ruminates on a thought. I like to roll it around in the subconscious before making a big decision. I'm a kind person. I've no desire to be mean to anyone, and I go out of my way to be sensitive to people's feelings. I'm also pretty thoughtful. For example, when I parallel parking, I do so in a way as to make it easier for the next person that comes along, even though it is a person I will never meet. I'm not a religious person in that I don't follow any organized religion, but I do have spiritual beliefs. I do believe that there is a grand omnipresent intelligence that makes the universe possible, that some people would call God. I do not believe that everything just happened randomly. Ironically, I found my spiritual beliefs in a biology laboratory when I was in college. I was studying the human body and was amazed at the infinite level of complexity. In my textbooks, I would see over and over again about how little we knew about the body. It seems to me that the deeper you look, you find more things that you don't know. It's impossible for me to believe that the infinite complexity of the human body just happened randomly. Some people sell that idea, but I'm not buying. One of my favorite quotes by Einstein is, "There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." I've tried both ways of living, and I can tell you from personal experience that I much prefer the latter. Everything is a miracle. Well, that's me in a nutshell. I hope you got to know me a bit, and thank you for watching.